The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. And good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
You ready for probably the hottest day of the year that we're going to have so far?
I guess.
High near 100, heat index value near 109. Just got to be careful out there. Be careful out there. So stay hydrated. Stay out of the heat if you possibly can. Take care of those pets outside. Make sure they got cool, clean water and shade.
It's called good air conditioning.
It's called air conditioning. You know it's hot when you step out of the house in the morning and you walk to your vehicle, and when you get there, you're already starting to sweat a little bit, and the sun hasn't even come up yet. You know, I mean, the sun's not even up yet. Yeah, you know it's going to be a hot, humid day. But we got to live with it. Nothing we can do about it. Weather's something we can always talk about and complain about, but there's not a doggone thing we can do about it. Just thank the Lord, and there's air conditioning. Jason, how you doing this morning?
I'm just living the dream.
Living the dream. Jason Weaver in here this morning. What you talking about, Jason?
Well, we talking about this big week. This Independence Day weekend festival. Fixing to kick it off.
In Scriven.
In Scriven, Georgia. Number one small town USA.
All right.
Starts Friday night.
Starts Friday night.
So tell us what's going on Friday night.
All right. So Friday night, we'll kick it off at 8 o'clock at the fire station on Morgan Street with Second Chance Band. This is will be our fourth year, fifth year maybe inside the fire station. Third year, I think, in the fire station, but fifth year overall. 6 year overall. I can't remember anymore.
So the band sets up inside the fire station.
Yeah, we pulled a stage inside the fire station,
and then the people just sit around outside and
they sit inside, outside,
everywhere.
Yeah, bring your chairs and bring your your dancing shoes. They're gonna have some dancing contests this year, shag and whatever shag contests and whatever them other kind of dances are. And,
Shag Right's gonna.
Hey, we might even get Shag Right out there,
Shag
man.
Right out there. You see Shag Right, right?
I was with him this weekend down at a conference, and old Shag was Shagalicious, man. Me and him and Steve Card had a good time.
You still stayed involved in?
Well, he told. This is what he tells people. Miss Raquel followed him for 30-something years and shopped, and he's gonna follow her and shop now. So he likes to sit there, just sit on, when we go to Savannah, sit right there on River Street and just watch people and sit right out. Me and him sat right outside the Savannah Suites, and, you know, every now and then get up and step inside. They give you that free praline sample. So Shag likes that stuff now, I'm telling you.
That's some good taffy there.
It sure is. They do a good job. They got a great fundraiser going right now, too. They give them back 10% to the homeless. Their goal is to raise $100 million, and just right there at Savannah Suites to be able to fund the homeless.
$100 million?
Something like that. Or
that can't be anywhere.
Yeah, but it was maybe it was 100,000. Maybe I missed the word.
You're probably
might be
right.
100,000.
Yeah, 100,000.
But they were going to feed the homeless in Savannah. That's a pretty cool little deal. Every time you buy a praline, they give a percentage of it back. So.
Okay. So you got Friday night. You got this Friday night in Scriven. You got
right.
Second Chance Band.
Second Chance Band. Fire department. Fire department will be doing hamburgers, hot dogs. Come hungry, come ready to dance. You can eat and get your exercise in right in the same place, man.
And it's a street named after Bob, Morgan Street there?
It's named after Bob. It's
Okay.
Morgan Street. That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
Don't tell people that.
Hey, we need. Matter of fact, you know what's a good idea? We need to do a ribbon cutting one day and figure out. Bob, you might be actually kin to the Morgan. We figure out how the street got its name.
He's a Yankee. He's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know,
originally.
but, I mean,
originally.
I got a daughter that's a Yankee. I mean, it could be. You never know.
You never know.
It's a small world. Something brought you to Jesup, Georgia.
Job. But he did move down to Georgia when he was in 9th grade. So, yeah, it was only through 9th grade that he was up there in Pennsylvania.
That's the closest thing to the number one small town in USA is Athens, but it ain't quite made it there yet. They're still working on it.
All right. So you've got that going on Friday night. Friday night in Scriven.
Friday
is
night.
is the Second Chance Band and the dance and the hamburger. Tell us about the hamburgers and hot dogs.
Well, they'll be good. I can tell you that.
Who's
they
cooking
are
them up?
Fire department. They are every year. I think Bob's eat with us every year over there. They do a good job of that.
They do a good job.
Yeah, they have a big line. They got the lemonade trailer will be there where you can buy that fresh home squeezed lemonade.
You need them crushed ice cream cones with those ice cones with those flavoring on top of it.
What you talking about? Push up?
Yeah,
Flintstone push up?
Yeah, where you go the shaved ice. You got the shaved
Oh
ice in the
yeah,
cup.
Look, all that'll be there. All that'll be there
Shaved
Saturday.
ice will be there?
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday shaved ice will be there.
We kind of keep it the fire department fundraiser for Friday night.
Friday
And
night,
Saturday,
just for the fire department to help
Yeah.
them with their expenses. And then tell us what all happens this Saturday in Scriven.
This Saturday morning, we will kick it off at 7 a.m. at the Grace Community Center on Bill Royal Street with registration. If you hadn't pre-registered for the Firecracker 5K and color run, a 1 mile stroll color run, you come register at 7 a.m. The race starts at 8. Be a 5K normal 5K race, and then the 1 mile of it will be the color run.
Okay.
And that color run, they'll be throwing all that color on it. I got these all kind of color packets in my office right now. They'll be throwing that color on and come dress up. A lot of people take this and dress up. You'll see them out there in tutus. Families will come dressed alike. Just a good time. We'll have music playing, and it'll be a great time for that race that morning.
And it starts at
The race starts at 8.
8.
Yep, and you come at 7 if you haven't registered, so we can get your shirt on, so we can throw that color all over you, and you can be tie-dyed for the day.
All right.
And then right after that, we will move over to the Dollar General Market, the new Dollar General Market in Scriven, for a 10 a.m. ribbon cutting, and that's going to be a phenomenal event. The corporate from Dollar General from Nashville is flying in to be here. They really want to support our community. From my understanding, Dollar General is going to give a check to the school system. The principal, Jason Brown, will be there. They've called and asked for him to be there. Don't know how much, don't know what, but all I know is they're fixing to give a check to Scriven Elementary School. Also, we found out yesterday that the contractor that built the Dollar General, Terramore Construction, out of Tifton and Valdosta area, is coming in and going to give the city of Scriven a check for $5,000 towards our new playground equipment.
And where's the new playground equipment going?
It's going to be at Grace Community Park.
Grace Community Park,
Our
replace what's
SPLOS passed, and during our SPLOS, we were putting a walking trail in and some lighting and all that around that park, make that park look better, and new playground equipment. Well, they have partnered with the city of Scriven, said that it was just an absolute dream. We had building that building, had no issues, and they want to donate $5,000 to the city for the community, for the playground equipment for the community to use, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing cut meat, fresh meat, in a dollar store. I was there in Scriven a few days ago, and while I was doing the tour there, I decided to go into Dollar General there, and there it was, right there, cut fresh meat right there on the left as you come in.
It looks good too.
Yeah.
It did. It looks good. We're proud of that store. So we want everybody to come out to that ribbon cutting. From my understanding, Dollar General is going to be giving away a bunch of gift cards. I think some up to $500. So come on out and be there and be a part of something that we've worked really hard to bring to our community.
Okay,
and
so the ribbon cutting will be this Saturday at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. That's right. Congressman Carter will be there. Somebody from Governor Kemp's office will be there. Representative Meeks. There'll be some good attendees.
Okay.
Then at 12 o'clock, vendor setup begins for the festival right behind the church at Church and Morgan Street. We'll just like we have the past few years, we'll set the vendors up all around, and the festival begins at 3. And come on out. She's got a list, man. She's got 40-something vendors. Let me pull
40-something vendors. It's going to be there Saturday beginning at noon.
Biggest year that we have had yet, and we are so excited to welcome all these people into our community. 44 vendors, and I'm talking
that's
about
going to be around the fire.
That's right.
Area.
I'm talking about any kind of food that you think you might want to eat. we probably going to have it.
All right. That's in Scriven. Started at 12 noon.
That's
40-something
right.
vendors going to be right there.
That's right.
Downtown Scriven.
We've got things like hats and earrings and crocheted items and quilts and pizzas and the bounce houses and all will be there for the kids. Let me make sure we get that in. We'll have that fun zone, that play zone for the kids. That'll be absolutely free. Please monitor your children. I mean, I know that's hard today's time, but try.
They got the climbing wall again like they did.
I don't know if they got the climbing wall. I have tried to get the climbing wall, but I'm pretty positive that Jacob Popple has purchased a climbing wall, and because that thing was a hit that year.
Kids love
And
that thing.
we need that climbing wall. I agree, 100%. Because I want to see Bob up that climbing wall.
Oh,
On
yeah.
Morgan
He
Street.
can scurry that thing up that thing like you
I
would
know,
do,
man. I'm trying to tell
No
you.
problem.
Sorry.
It's boiled peanuts. Don't forget, boiled peanuts, man. That's a big thing on 4th of July celebration in Scriven. Candles. I mean, they got it all. They got it all. If you want it, we got it. Just come on. If we ain't got it, we'll get it. Dollar General's probably got it.
So you're going to have that's going to start at 12 noon with the 40-something vendors in downtown Scriven or near and around the fire station. And then what happens after that?
At dark 30, probably 7ish, we'll start playing music. Mr. Mark Tootle will come over.
Grace?
He'll play the stage. I'll have the stage moved out of the fire department up to the to behind Autumn Hall Credit Union, and he'll be at Autumn Hall Credit Union playing the music. And then every year he prides and we pride ourselves in the music hitting right with the fireworks, and it's difficult. People think, oh, it ain't much to that. Well, it's very difficult when there's two different locations. So we are running. I mean, it's just, and we try to. It's just something inside. We want to be right on, and we're like, we're 1 second off. You know, I mean, it is what it is. That's
so you're
going to
have music play, and then you're going to have music playing when the fireworks is going.
That's right. It'll be American
that's
music.
Always great. Yeah.
Yep. And fireworks should go off at dark 30, which
is around 9:30.
I think usually is around 9:30. They'll send me a message and tell me, we're going to shoot cell phone time, da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And, but that whole area over there will be roped off, so don't try to go around Grace Park because they'll rope it off. All these new laws you got to have. So
how close can you get to Grace?
Well, Bill Royal will be closed. You can get in the school. You can park inside the school.
The school fence, but not on
No.
Bill Royal Street across.
That's right.
Okay.
It's like a 350-foot buffer that they have to have all the way around.
Okay.
And we'll shoot those fireworks off, and they'll be great, like always. And I hate to even knock on wood right here, but for the first time, I think we're looking at some pretty good weather.
Yeah, Saturday ought to be.
Yep. I looked this morning, or somebody showed me this morning, 20%, and 96 degrees. Be hot. You'll need to get them snow cones you're talking about, and let's just rock and roll and have a good time in the city of Scriven this weekend. Be safe and be smart. Listen to the officers when they're trying to get you out of there. We'll get you out of Scriven in 20 minutes. No problems. Park it all down the railroad tracks, anywhere you have permission.
Yeah, getting in and out of Scriven so much easier today since it was 4 lanes and 2 lanes one way and 2 lanes the other than it used to be just when it was just a 2-lane 84 going through there.
Yep. So we're going to work hard all week long to get the community prepared and get the city looking good. We did have another great attribute that come to us this weekend. I got a text from WJCL, and they're starting their hometown spotlights this Friday, where they go out in the communities, different communities, and do their live news from those communities. Well, they'll be in Scriven Friday morning, 5 o'clock to 7. News, weather, sports, and all will be done in Scriven, promoting the fireworks. So
where they're going to be set up at? You know yet?
Well, I'm down to 2 locations, and they asked me to choose today. I got to let them know by 9.
Okay.
Either City Hall or the fire station. I haven't decided exactly which one yet.
All right.
There's good to both. So I'm trying to. Sometimes I don't like to be the one to make the decisions.
I'm going to go ahead and flip a corner for you?
Yeah, flip it. I mean, that's fine with me. But they want the community. I know it's early. It's 5 to 7. Channel 22, WJCL. But they want the community to come out. They're going to do some interviews. I've got some people they're going to interview that can just talk about what this Independence Day weekend and festival means to the city of Scriven for 35, 40 years going now. And all the people that donate, the hospital that's been on board, the tourism board, and Rainier, these communities, Republic, that donate money to this. We just we can't thank you enough for making it happen. We can't thank you guys enough for promoting it. I mean, you thought we a month. I mean, y'all promoted a month out for us, and it's just, this is how you get the word out in today's time. I mean, most places don't. I'm doing that Game Changer thing for Valdosta, and they have a radio show, but this is you. I mean,
yeah, the Butch and Bob show is pretty unique.
I turned mine on, and 40 people from all around the state of Georgia at Game Changers listens to Butch and Bob show when I'm there with them, because they say, man, that's just awesome. I mean, that's awesome. And they say, why don't you go? You should be on there hosting it too with them every day. And I said, I ain't got time for that. And Toodle told me when Butch is out, Jason can cover. I said, well, I can, but I don't know how to push the button.
It'd have to be Bob out, because Bob couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't push the buttons.
Yeah, he couldn't push the buttons here and all that kind of stuff. Now, if Bob's out, then yeah, you could come on.
I don't even know how to take a water payment in the city of Scriven after 6 years, man. I ain't interested in no buttons.
So JCL's going to be there this Friday morning, and that's Channel 22, the ABC affiliate. The general manager of JCL is a very top-notch guy, very nice guy. I've had a chance to spend some time with him, and I'm glad they're coming down.
Good. Yes. It's just, I'll tell you, the only buttons I push, Butch is my wife's. I can push them.
You can push those. Us guys are good at that. Well, back when I used to be married.
And I push them. And
first and second time.
Don't even know I push them. I think I'm doing right.
Yes, sir.
Well, I get told real quick I ain't. I can tell you that.
Yes, sir. Well, they keep you in line.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
Happy wife, happy life.
You got it.
Just say yes, ma'am, and life will be good.
Yeah. Yep. I saw Buddy Carter this weekend down there in Savannah. Saw Steve Card, man. Steve Card will be here soon for them naming that soccer complex after him. He said to tell Bino and Butch hello.
So he's coming down for that?
Yeah, they're going to name that soccer complex after him. I think Speck's doing that in like August sometime.
August? Do you know, Bob?
Yeah.
Got the date.
Okay, and, but in August sometime they're going to name it the Steve Card Soccer Complex?
Yep, and they're naming Field 3 the same day. They're going to be naming that Field 3 at the soccer complex after my stepson Dylan Hargrove and nephew Chase Mitchell would be the Hargrove Mitchell Field. Okay. Or Mitchell Hargrove Field, however they got it. But those two had a great impact on Wayne County soccer, and both lost their lives. So that was pretty honor for our family. So we greatly appreciate that.
So Steve Card was the rec director here when those were built. Man, that's a long
24.
That's a long time ago.
Steve said I took his class this past time, recreation class. He's been Parks and Rec director for 24 years. And in this role he's in now for, I don't remember how many years, but he's close to 30 in recreation, man. And
wow.
He's just, and I tell you, it was funny because he said that his slideshow and his presentation, you remember, Bob, you probably remember they moved all the signs out there to the road when you entered the park. Right. He's got that picture up there. And I didn't realize there was a guy behind me from Hinesville sitting. And he put it up, and he said, only one person in here, because this room's full of like 50 people, is going to know where this is and what this means. And he popped it up there, and sure enough, the sign right there has my name on it, the one you can read. And so I just started.
Why is your name on it?
Because I won a state championship here.
At what?
Baseball, 1989.
What age group?
10U live pitch, the very first
10U live pitch, huh?
Yeah.
So you were a flamethrower at 10 years old.
No, I was a catcher.
Oh. Catcher.
Yep. I could pitch, but it wasn't fast. But I could hit.
But you were a catcher, and you won state.
Yeah, if they wanted somebody hit, they put me in. I'd hit them. I didn't mind hitting somebody.
Okay.
But Roger Thompson was the coach, and I mean, it was a great. Laura's grown now, married. You know, Laura was our little back girl. You probably remember that. Troy Ellis and Jeremy Wasden and Jeremy Palmer. And
good team.
Yeah, it was a very good team. We didn't lose.
10U, huh?
Yeah.
Did you play after that in the other age groups?
I played all the way up to high school ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. But I gained a little weight, but you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Some people's.
Yeah, I told my dad back on my 20s, I ain't never getting overweight like you are, Dad. And that was back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And when I did come overweight, he said, you did.
Yeah.
I said, well, so.
But that he put that up there, and he said, nobody will know this but one person. And he was trying to tell the people in the class about bringing recognition and doing something small that makes your community buy in and feel like an importance. And now we don't play for a trophy anymore. We play for that sign. I mean, Bob, you know that. We want that sign. And he said that he got a call from Jimmy in Liberty County and said, Card, what are you doing over there? And he said, what are you talking about? And he said, my team come through there. They were beat before they got off the bus looking at 40 state championship signs. He said, yeah. And they were beat when they got off the bus because y'all ain't never beat us. And the guy behind me from Hinesville said, yes, we have. And I turned around and said, no, sir, you've never beat us in a baseball or softball game. I don't care. But they beat us apparently they beat us in soccer this year, 2-1, or last year. I don't know.
They did.
But I told him that, I love soccer, but I told him, I said, I'm talking about baseball and softball.
I know you're talking
man.
about
I'm talking about real sports. But, you know what I mean?
You do know soccer's the number one sport in
I
the
know,
world.
I know. That's why I told him that. And he said, I coach a travel soccer team, and I got some kids from Wayne County. I said, well, see there, you had to get people from Wayne County to make your team worth it. I mean, they know. I do. I'm telling you, that soccer, man, whew, it's big.
Yeah, my boys, back when we had our traveling team, played some against Liberty County, Fort Stewart, that kind of stuff.
Did y'all lose?
Way back in the 90s.
No.
And then one time they were part of that group. Yeah, so it varied. Yeah.
But it was a great card, man. He does a phenomenal job in that.
So in August they're going to name the soccer complex after Steve Card. So we'll let everyone know when that day is going to be and the time.
Yeah.
And folks can be out there.
I'm sure Speck has
Steve.
all that information.
Yeah.
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 But it's great to see him. I mean, truthfully, honestly, to me, I knew if you know Steve, you know we were going to lose him at some point because he's bigger than Jesup. I mean, he really needs.
Some people
to be,
have that ambition to move up.
He really needs to be in the Capitol. I'm telling you, he is that good.
Which one?
Well,
State.
I would love to see him in Washington, but yes, he needs to be in the state. But he's just everybody knows. I mean, he's a great guy, and I mean he gave me my first job in recreation, man. I mean,
some people are just content to be a recreation director in a community, and that's all they want. But some people want to move up further than that, and Steve did, and it was good that we had him here for several years and followed his career all the way up to the point now where he's head of recreation for the state of Georgia.
Some of his best friends are here still, and I mean, Bob. I mean, he's just a great guy, man.
I know used to be. I'm not sure if he still does, but usually before the football season, he comes down with a group of guys for the. What do they call that, Bob? Fantasy football thing. Yeah, he's in that. I saw him one time.
And now he's big time motorcycle rider.
He's a motorcycle rider now?
Man.
Well, we're going to be visiting him in the hospital before long.
I told him,
it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
I said, well, you got one of them population decreasers. That's what I call them. If we didn't have motorcycles, we'd be overrun with people.
Yes, sir. Well, so that's coming up then. But once again, the big weekend this weekend. Go over, once again, Jason, what's happening Friday and Saturday in Scriven.
Friday night, 8 o'clock, Second Chance Band, food, family fun. Dancing at the fire department on Morgan Street, which is right behind the credit union. You really can't miss it. And that's at 8 o'clock. Then Saturday morning, the firecracker run, 5K and 1K color run will start at 8. If you're not registered, come on out at 7. We'll be there to register you up and get your shirt and get you ready. After that, we'll move to the Dollar General Market in the center of town, 215 West JL Tire Street, for the grand opening ribbon cutting of the Dollar General Market. A lot of giveaways will happen there. Then the festival setup will begin at 12. The festival actually starts at 3. I'm sure there'll be people selling before that. But just come on and spend the whole day with us in the city of Scriven. Bring your ice so you can stay cool. It's going to be hot. This is the one that got me last year. This festival put me in the hospital last year when I had to have all them surgeries.
You get one of those bottles with the water in it there that's got a cooler on there and the fan.
Yep.
They'll blow that water against you just in fine mist. That makes all the difference in the world.
And just come and support, what we're trying to do in Scriven. And that all that is make a great place to live, work, grow, and glow.
All right, so we've talked about Scriven, and you've played baseball. What did you think about the College World Series?
You want to talk
series.
to me about that? I'd love to talk
Go
about
ahead,
that.
Jason. Tell us what you thought about Tennessee just beating Texas A&M last night to win the World Series.
I was in the
college.
living room. It was 6-2.
Who?
Tennessee.
Okay.
So I said, I'm going to bed. Well, Kelly turned it on in the bed. I had Blue Bloods on. Kelly changed it back over to the game because she's a bigger baseball fan than I am. And I heard things starting to happen. I thought I was dreaming. I got up, and they almost gave it away. But that Seacrest, that Andrew Seacrest, or that kid from Buford that started that game, he's pitched every elimination game for them when they've got down to the finals. And I'm telling you, he has absolutely just shut the door. And they went and got him and brought that flamethrower in, and that fell right into, I think, Texas A&M's wheelhouse. Because all I was telling Bob, it's amazing because all those guys at the top of the lineup for A&M are transfers from Ivy League schools, from Michigan State. I mean, they just, it's kind of like football now. They all just transfer in. But I thought Tennessee was the best team in the country.
Well, they were.
All
They
year
were ranked
long.
number one.
And I thought that they were 1 through 9 the scariest lineup that I've seen. And I thought the only team that could give them a run would have been Florida State. But, things happen, and Florida State, man, they looked good to me too.
Well, they usually are. It's good to see 2 SEC teams in the championship series, and one from the former SEC East win. Now, we don't have an SEC East or West anymore. Bob and I were talking about it yesterday morning. Does that disappoint you, Bob? Is that,
Yeah, I'm a traditionalist. Like I said, it's going to be interesting how it all plays out. But I like the East and the West. But with Texas and Oklahoma coming in, they couldn't figure out which it's all messed up. So
no more East and West.
it's a lot of tradition. Like I said, I hate the fact we're not playing South Carolina. I mean, that game
We're not
South
playing
Carolina,
South Carolina this year?
Not this year. They're not on schedule. So that's something.
They're going to be kind of like a Clemson. They're going to come and go now.
I guess
But they're SEC. We should play them more often, right?
I tell you,
Like
to win that thing, to win the SEC now, you got to play some ball. But I tell you one thing. The good thing I think come out of this is the Griffiths kid from Appleton County decommitted to Tennessee and committed to Georgia. So he was going to Tennessee to play baseball, but now he's going to Georgia. So that's a good thing. Now Georgia did lose. Georgia did lose the Simpson coach. He's going back to LSU to take that coach's job that left LSU for South Carolina. So
Is that the head coach?
no,
or
not the
just
head
assistants?
coach. It was one of the assistants.
Assistants,
Yep.
okay. All right.
So we'll see how that plays out because they said he was just phenomenal in the clubhouse and recruiting wise, and
It's about that recruiting, isn't it?
it is. It is. They play some. There's some kids playing some good ball, but there's some kids that just totally that out there on some of these teams that you never heard of that are just as good. I mean,
Now these kids have the opportunity of being kind of like stuck at a school for 4 years and they can't show their talents because of certain reasons. Now they can say, all right, I'm putting myself in the transfer portal and see who wants me.
Yeah.
So, you can kind of look at it from the kids and the students, athletes standpoint. Is the fact, it used to be up until recently, until COVID, you were stuck somewhere for all those years unless you wanted to play down a division or sit out for a year in the division that you were in. But now you can go here, there, and yonder, whatever you want to do.
And I don't personally, Butch, I don't like that because I'm a man of the word, and these kids go to these schools because these coaches sit in their living room and tell their mom and dad they're going to take care of them.
I know. I know. It's the sales pitch that they give them when that coach could be gone next year.
That's
so if
right.
the coaches can do it. Boss said this before. If the coaches can go, why can't the players do it?
It's about who's got the most money. That's who can win it. I mean, you go get the talent. If you got the money and the NIL deals to go get the talent, I mean,
But the thing about it is you don't know who's going to be on your team from season to season.
I know.
Who's going to be on the Georgia football team this year, their baseball team? Who's going to be on Georgia Southern's football team or baseball team? You just don't know. It's who can go out there and find the money and find the talent.
You like it, Bob?
What, the NIL? Not really.
No, I don't.
One thing
It would take the scholarship from them if they. I mean,
they made a good point. I was watching a show yesterday. One thing it's done, it's eliminated walk-on athletes. So Stetson Bennett's legacy,
over.
His legacy will just live forever and ever because you'll never see it at walk-on. Quarterback win 2 national championships again because walk-ons are going to be non-existent with NIL. No one's looking for walk-ons.
We were talking about that Sunday in Savannah at the convention center. That what we were thinking about. Think about this. you and I both remember the night that he lit us up in JC Stadium like a firecracker on the 4th of July. Right. And me and Osteen were standing on the sideline that night. And we looked at each other and said, man, that kid can play. He's little, but he can play. God, he can play. Well, he won 2 national championships at the University of Georgia. We have had great quarterbacks come through that program that ain't won a national championship. Now, he had defense. Some of them didn't have. But they still would not have won them national championships if it wasn't for Stetson Bennett, because he got the MVP in both the national championship games.
He made the plays when he had to.
Yeah.
All the playoff games as well.
I mean, he's a gamer.
He's got a nice trophy case.
I guarantee, man.
I mean, he won the MVP in all those playoff games.
And now he's doing great. I mean, after taking that year off, he's doing great. Everything I hear.
I hope so. He's going to do well out there with the Rams.
Well, I can tell you that GM loves him, and if it's him, he will be on that 53-man roster, I think.
I believe so, too. I believe he'll play.
Well, we're out of time, gentlemen.
They see Matthew Stafford and all his controversy going on.
What's going on with
Stafford?
Stafford?
But that was like, listen, that's already been a controversy. Why did he even brought it up? His wife
did a podcast and said when she was at Georgia to make Matthew Stafford jealous, she dated the backup quarterback,
Logan Gray,
and she's getting crushed for that. Every sports talk show saying, "Why would you bring that up? Why would you?"
It was already a controversy when they were in college. They broke up.
When they were in college, it was a controversy.
Yeah, they broke up, and she went out with Logan Gray and had kisses with him.
She just told the story on the podcast.
Yeah, and just told it again.
It's amazing the things that people say on social media. Absolutely amazes me.
So now she's got 10,000 million likes and probably getting paid for it. And I mean,
they're good. They got several. They're good.
You know,
she came home, and I'm sure Matthew said, "Why did you do that?"
I'll tell you this. This is a
why did you bring that?
Because it's always about the money. I'll get more likes. I'll get more views. It's about the money.
This is a fact right here, because I know the person. This is a fact. What I'm fitting to tell you.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago, Matthew Stafford came through Jesup, Georgia, traveling, and stopped at McDonald's. And a friend of mine was in McDonald's and noticed, I think I've seen him before, didn't quite know who he was. He came up to her and was hitting on her. And she said, "What's your name?" And he said, "I'm Matthew Stafford. I'm the quarterback for the Rams." And she said, "No, you ain't." So she Googled him right there. Well, I can tell you this. He was married to his wife at the time. That's all I can tell you. And he was hitting on her at the McDonald's in Jesup, Georgia.
Oh, he was just being friendly.
Very.
Just being very friendly.
Yeah.
That's what we do around. We just be very friendly.
Maybe he was trying to get her back. I don't know, for messing with Logan Gray. I mean, Logan Gray, whoever even heard of him, you know?
Kelly Stafford made him famous.
Sure did. I bet he's got 10,000 likes today, too.
Oh, boy.
Hey, I love it. Thank you guys again for promoting Scriven and everything you do for us. We can't appreciate it. Hope you enjoy your hats.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, got some beautiful hats,
light gray hats with City of Scriven on there, with the logo train for Scriven on there, with the light gray, and then the white mesh in the back. Looks
courtesy of Sheffield's.
All right,
sir.
Have a good day. Mm-hmm. All right, the world famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, brought to you by O'Quinn and Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Vans Barbecue, and First Southern Bank.